Thank you. Call for vote, please, Karen.
Mr. Bowlers?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Yes. Looking for a motion to adopt the 2024 holiday schedule for the Jefferson County. Thank you. Call for vote, please.
Mr. Bowlers?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes. Again, we're looking for a motion to inform the governing body of the county's expected obligation for 2024 with the Pennsylvania Municipal Retirement System in the amount of $628,505.
So,
Second. Thank you. Call for a vote, please.
Mr. Bowlers?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes. We're looking for a motion to proclaim the month of October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Jefferson County. Second. Thank you. Suella, please.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all you commissioners for the work you do, and I really appreciate you recognizing and honoring domestic violence victims in the month of October. I'm hoping that the conversations extend beyond October and they stay in our mind every day, because everyone in this room knows someone who's a victim of domestic violence. I'm not going to quote local statistics to you, but I do want to bring to your attention from the National Domestic Violence, National Child Traumatic Stress Network. The numbers that they have is that on average, 20 individuals are physically abused by intimate partners every minute. This equates to intimate partners of 10 million being abused annually. 1 in 3 women, 1 in 4 men have been physically abused by their partner. 1 in 5 women and 1 in 7 men have been severely physically abused. The reason I chose the Child Network to discuss this is because if there's 10 million victims out there, how many of our children are being victimized and traumatized every day and every minute when they witness this? I have worked with victims for 26 years now. They come in and they say, but the kids didn't hear, they don't know. Kids are little sponges and they see and they hear everything. And they learn and they're traumatized. And sometimes when they grow up to be victims themselves, because they don't know what a healthy relationship is. And we need to break that cycle. I'm here today to also put a plea out to the community. In the 9 years or so that I've been the director of Crossroads, our funding has stayed level, which means there's no increases. Actually, we're facing a decrease in one of our funding sources. We've had to close our branch legal offices, which were within walking distance of the courthouse, so that we could keep a staff person. When I took this position, there were 14 of us. Now we have enough funding for 8 total. That's because we're not cutting back on what we provide for victims. We provide shelter, we provide counseling, we provide court accompaniment, protection from abuse orders. When someone comes into shelter, this is where a lot of our money goes. We pay for everything. They often flee with just what they have on their back. So therefore, we're providing with clothing and food and cleaning supplies and hygiene, everything they need to sustain. Originally, years ago when I started, it was a 30-day emergency stay. It's impossible to help anybody find housing and stability in 30 days. So we have victims who are remaining for months. So, there's the drain on the resources is huge. But we are taking the hit when it comes to staffing. So I'm making a plea for volunteers, anybody out there that would be interested in helping us work with domestic violence victims. I'm making a plea for financial contributions if possible. Our shelter is in need. It was donated many years ago by a church. And now I'm blessed with having to face the fact that we need 2 new porches and a new ramp and a new roof and electrical upgrades. Again, I appreciate your support, and I just want to say it is vital and important to all the victims in our county that we don't eventually lose our resources to the point that we can't even offer shelter. Like I said, we closed our legal offices. We're still doing the work. The advocates are traveling. We're not putting that burden on our victims. We're doing everything we can to make sure that they don't face any further barriers. So you making this declaration of Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Jefferson County. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sibel.
May I?
Sure.
So, if an individual or organization would like to reach out to you to participate or help,
Yes.
how shall they do that?
They can contact me directly. I can give out my contact information. I have a copy of a press release that we released with, my contact information. Calling Community Action, asking for me, will certainly get you put in touch with me. I would be glad to talk to anybody that would be willing to help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else for Sibel? Then we will call for a vote, please.
Mr. Bowlers.
Yes.
Mr. North.
Yes.
Mr. Fisher.
Looking for a motion to approve Amendment 4, decreasing the trip rate to $45 retroactive to October 1st, 2023, under the Medical Assistance Transportation Program contract with Community Action Incorporated. So,
Second.
thank you. Call for vote, please.
Mr. Bowlers.
Yes.
Mr. North.
Yes.
Mr. Fisher.
Yeah. Okay, public comments. At this time, we would like to introduce our new Veterans Affairs Director. His name is Jonathan Weigel. And Jonathan, you would give us a 25, 30-minute speech on all about you, if that's what you'd like.
I could do longer.
Please.
Hey, good morning. My name is Jonathan Weigel. I just recently retired from the United States Marine Corps after 30 years of service. My wife and I decided to move up here to Pennsylvania because, one, we have family here. I wanted cooler climates. I got tired of the heat, humidity, and hurricanes of South Carolina. Originally, her family is from Potter County and also Bedford. Mine is north of Harrisburg, out in the Indian Gap area. I have family and relatives in Mechanicsburg and Dover, just right outside York. Since moving here, this place has been awesome. I really like the patriotic spirit of small town America that this place has to offer. And as I told the commissioners during my interview, I still have yet to meet a disgruntled, upset person. They promised that they were going to introduce me to a few of them.
They're on their way.
Thank you. So this job just kind of opened up. I came in to see the VA rep a couple weeks ago and was told that he had moved on and that this position was vacant. And as I got to know some of the other veterans around the Jefferson County, I started hearing some grumblings about certain things were not being taken care of. My job within the Marine Corps, being a sergeant major, was to take care of Marines and their families. So I talked to my wife and I decided, hey, I think I'm going to give this a shot, because it's not just about taking care of Marines, it's about taking care of veterans. Those veterans that are out there right now needing the assistance from their fellow neighbors. It's about veterans that are soon to be veterans when they get out of service, that somebody can take care of them. It's all about community and sharing and looking out for one another. So I took on this position and this challenge as I get engrossed into doing this job. I think it's going to be really rewarding because of taking care of families. I do have 3 children. Our oldest, he's a Marine. He's stationed over in Camp Pendleton, married, and I just became a grandfather this June, which was awesome. And our daughter she's the second born. She is married to a Marine who's stationed currently over in Okinawa, Japan, and they're due to come back here sometime next year. And then we have our youngest, which he'll soon be 12. And I've been married for 28 years to the same awesome person. And I just enjoy really being here, and I look forward to meeting and working with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. We appreciate you coming. Okay, so Jess, I believe you have someone you'd like to introduce today.
Yeah, so today our new director of tourism started. Her name is Christy Bell. We are super excited to get her going. We're right at the beginning of all of our tourism plans, so her starting it's very, very great timing. I'll let her chat about herself, everybody.
I have to stand up.
You're not camera shy, are you?
My name's Christy Bell. I'm born and raised in this area. I grew up in DuBois. I have family from all over the region. Even when I lived in other parts of the country, this is always where we came home. This is where my kids vacationed when they were little. And so there's just so much to do here. So when I saw the position open up, it was like something that I was excited about. I have over 20 years experience in design, marketing, and that I used to do corporate graphic design. About 9 years ago, I moved back here as a single mother to be closer to family with my two boys. Those boys are now 17 and 21. One is in the Navy and the other is a senior in high school. So it is time for me to get back to what I love. And when I saw this position came open, it was like a way to still stay here, but still do what I love. So I'm very excited to be starting.
Thank you. Okay, other public comments? None, you got anything?
Not really. We're just getting the dog licenses just showed up here the other day and we're getting them ready to count and get them out. So they'll be on sale December 1st at your local vendors. So.
Okay. Thank you for that. All right, we'll close public comments and turn it over to the press.
All right, I actually have several questions.
Oh, he was counting on me.
Yeah, I obviously have to do double duty for Alex.
That's right.
First one is less of a question, but Jonathan, Christy, and Suella, once the meeting is over, please don't go away. We have multiple pictures to take. I'm sorry. So just hang out and bear with me. First question, I got a couple questions on these local share account fundings. The Snyder Hill Tower, like what needs replaced? Like what, just a little, maybe just a little more detail. How old is it? Things like that.
You're gonna handle that? So the whole tower is a full replacement of everything on the site, from the shelter that the equipment's held in to the tower itself. I'm not exactly sure when it was put in. It's never been replaced at its current function. I know it used to be a PSP tower. It's long. There was a survey done in 2008 on the state of the tower, and it said it was deteriorating then.
Okay.
So.
And it's like a radio transmission
Yep.
tower.
For 911 and emergency services. Also, North Central has internet equipment on the tower that they use that space to provide wireless internet to folks in that area.
Roger that. The new 911 center, like when did that get started? Like the building of a new center? How far along is it going?
That's a dumb question.
So, we've been in discussion for a while. Scott and Jeff and I have spoke with Chris and Tracy up there, and they've kind of outgrown and things like that. So they've been looking. So it's been a conversation for a while. I guess basically we do have drawings, and it was just something for us to start to work at, because it's something that coming down sooner or later, we're gonna have to do something. So it's been going for.
So, sorry. So is this approved, the new building?
The building is not approved,
Okay.
but we have drawings that we have selected that we like the best for the county's principal.
And this is gonna be proposed at the Warsaw Township Fire Hall?
Yeah, in its current proposed state, yes.
On the grounds, not at the
Yeah.
hall.
Okay, on the grounds. All right. Where is the current one?
Next to the jail,
Next to-
right along Interstate 80.
Okay.
Which is one of the motivating factors. It's been there for several years. This is also an opportunity to update the equipment. One of the other advantages is that there's a desire to have some standoff from 80. If there is a catastrophic event on Interstate 80, it could compromise the emergency center. So if there was heaven forbid, a chemical spill near 911 center, well, they'd have to evacuate and work from an alternate location. So one of the considerations that we took under advisement was having some standoff. And the site at Warsaw Township, in cooperation with the Warsaw Township Fire Department, seemed to be a good choice.
Obviously, like, this would be definitely a huge ballpark, but a tentative projection on when this would be completed, built, start construction, anything like that.
There's nothing that's actually documented.
It's gonna be pending a lot of grant awarding.
Which takes us back to what we're doing today. We've done the preliminary work to say, well, we identify the need, we know where we'd like to put it, we understand what we have to do. So Jess's effort is to start deliberate movement in that direction, and that's the engineering grant. That gives us the meat and potatoes of what we need, how it needs to be laid out, and do a comprehensive review. So it's going to depend entirely upon how we can fund this. So this is step one.
So this is basically, you guys are just trying to get your ducks in a row to get your ducks in a row.
That's correct.
The engineering will give us a better idea of, we have loose cost estimates, but the engineering will show us information that we might not know. And then we can start chunking it up into grant applications as they come about.
Any other prospective grants you guys are looking for this? Or
All of them.
You know,
all?
I mean, you're looking 3 to 5 years for this project. And you're looking maybe upwards $8 to $10 million, so. It's been quite pricey.
I guess the last question on this, how would this affect and or help the ongoing EMS crisis?
Well, I think it affects the day-to-day, as they said, that we've outgrown what we have in our, our computer stuff is outdated, so. And with everything else you have to keep, that's your main function, all the calls come there, and if you can't get help to those people that need help for several reasons, doesn't help our EMA system throughout the whole county.
Consider it this way, it keeps it from getting worse. Because these functions, have to be maintained.
All right. Well, that's the last question I have on that topic. Don't worry, I have more. By the end of this, you're all going to regret getting me started asking questions.
Oh, we're over.
I figured. The motion affirming Jefferson County's dedication to further fair housing practices, can you elaborate on what that is and what those are?
So it has to do with, it's equal for everybody. There's no discrimination. People need a place. It doesn't matter who you are, color you are. It's fair that way. No discrimination is the key.
Is there any, to go along with that, is there any, initiatives for, more affordable housing coming to the area?
I know that.
This is a process that we do almost yearly, and we have to do that to get grant funding, like our CDBG funding, our home improvement funding and stuff like that. It just, again, we do this almost yearly.
I have more. I think the last thing I wanted to ask about is the amendment increasing the trip rate for the MATP contract with Community Action. It was raised to $45. What was the previous rate?
Let me feel that. Justin, off the top of my head, I don't recall. There's a number that I believe is accurate, but I'd rather get you that answer than guess based on my faulty memory. So the MATP reimbursement rate actually went down about a year ago.
Mhm.
And because of the economic impacts, it's gone the other direction. And the good news is that the contractor working through community action has met all the needs. So in order to keep that system alive and healthy, it's necessary to take this step. But if you can be patient after the meeting, I can get you what the previous number was. I actually could take it back as many steps as you'd like, but it's something that varies from time to time.
Okay.
We just have to keep pace so that those needing that medical transportation get what they need.
Fair enough. Good. I think that's all the questions I'm good. I'll turn it over to Mike.
Okay, sounds good. I just have a couple questions. So, new tourism director today introduced, how is she being here going to really benefit the county starting today?
I think we like Jessica.
Well, now that we have someone in this position, we can actually have someone that is spending their 9 to 5 dedicated to tourism efforts. So that is meeting with the tourism businesses, that is promoting the county, that is making those connections, seeing where the gaps are, really utilizing our hotel tax funds to its highest potential, and then hopefully increasing that number over time through these efforts. So I'm very excited to have her here. So it no longer falls on me. It's been tough for me. Economic development is my full-time job. So splitting it, it's not, tourism hasn't been getting the attention it deserves. So now we have someone that is their full focus all the time. So I know she's excited to get out there and get going.
Okay, now, whenever you guys decertified PAYGO, there was a lot of controversy, especially in the community. A lot of the businesses were on PAYGO's side, not the county's. What would you say to those businesses now that there's a new director and changes are being made?
So I think it's fair to say that change is tough sometimes. People don't like change, but taking everything into factor of what's going on, we personally feel with the new person coming with new plans, new ideas, it's going to be working with bull moose, that kind of stuff. It's going to be better than it was. So they're going to address Jefferson County specifically. So we think Jefferson County will get more attention. That's my take.
Just kind of bouncing off of that, the certification of the new development council. Last time you said you kind of got that out late to the municipalities, missed a lot of the meetings. How is that going so far? What has been the response? How many have you gotten back?
I think we're from 6-ish. We're almost to 20%. A lot of them are meeting this week and next week. So I don't see why by the end of the month we don't hit that.
And the threshold is different. Can you remind me what that threshold is?
50%.
50%. Awesome.
And I'd like to just step back and add to what Commissioner Boers was sharing about the change in response to the previous question. Understand that first and foremost, when there's tax money involved, our responsibility is to the taxpayer. And our issues and concerns were rooted and came from that matter, and which is what caused us to explore other options. And keep in mind that in the end, it was PAYGO who left us in the middle of the decertification process. So here we are. And I know that Jeff said it, Commissioner Boers said it, I'm going to say it also. This is using the funds that are in Jefferson County for Jefferson County to its highest and best use. The timing on this is, if we were planning it this way, and we did want to influence things in a certain sequence, but the timing is exactly what it needs to be. Christy's going to be here to help mold and formulate that strategic plan. We'll move on from there. And I will share that a vast majority of the businesses involved are enthusiastic and looking forward to our new approach.
That's all I think that's all I got. The commissioner's probably tired of hearing me talk.
No,
We're good, okay. Well, if there's nothing else, then we are going to look for a motion to adjourn. Call for vote, please.
Mr. Bowler?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
All right.